you are? Come on, come closer. Let's start this journey together. Get to know one another so we can rise together. Pick me up, hold me, feed me, but it might be messy. Change me, but it might be smelly. Be my playdate. Be my rocking chair. Be my hero.
Because every dad Pampers is giving 8 weeks of paternity leave to their new dads, hoping to inspire others to give Kenyan dads this opportunity.
Hello 22bet.
Oya ni aje?
Poa sana.
Unasikia naenda kuingia kwa account yangu napata kuna maziwa rada.
Oh, hiyo ni Euro 2020 cashback. Tunapeana 8% kwa kila game ya Euro.
Hadi kwa kila game?
Hata zenye zimekunywa maji.
Sasa nyinyi ndio mabazeng. Itabidi hadi nimechapia mbogi. Cheki Mamorio. Unasikia kuna 8% cashback ya nini ya Euro ya 22bet.
Get 100% bonus on your first deposit now. SMS join to 29252. 22bet. Tucheze, tushinde. 22.
Oya ni aje, mino Jonte Fresh. Mi ndio nimetambulika hii komba yote seta ya manguo. Jumi transform nguo ordinary za mtush zenye ziuka mna hii harufu ya bail into the freshest igi kosi yote. Siri ni hii Ariel mpya ya pink. Na kushow mtush zinang'ara kung'ara kushinda kamera. So clean, so fresh. Ma customer unaisana na hii story. Ninatumia Ariel touch of down mpya tu.
July 26th, you're right on time for Maisha Prime News. My name is Rida Chibet Karen. Welcome. Wiper Democratic Movement Party has formally announced its exit from the troubled NASA coalition. The party has said it will be joining One Kenya Alliance officially, signaling the final exit from the NASA coalition. Bushebi Jr. with full details on this.
Wiper Democratic Party on Monday, July 26th, announced its withdrawal from the troubled National Super Alliance NASA. Speaking to the media at the Wiper Party headquarters in Karen, the party leader Kalonzo Musyoka stated that the party made the decision after lengthy deliberations. Kalonzo revealed that his party would now be concentrating its efforts on the One Kenya Alliance. He further stated that the Wiper party was working in cooperation with Jubilee. The former vice president also welcomed the Orange Democratic Movement ODM to join Wiper in forming a new formidable alliance that will form the next government. According to him, the new coalition will deliver national salvation to Kenyans.
Defeating William Ruto is my #1 priority. Yes. And I have reasons for it.
Nimesikia watu wa NASA ati kazi yao kubwa ni kujaribu kushindana na mimi. Yani hawana plan, hawana agenda, hawana mpango. Ati mpango yao yote ni kushindana na Ruto. Mimi nataka niwaambie hawa marafiki, tafadhali nawaambia kwa kuwapatia mawaidha, tafuteni agenda.
Omba watu wa Ukambani, watu wa Machakos, watu wa Kitui, watu wale wengine wa Makueni, wote tushikane pamoja, tuchunge kura zetu zote, tupatie Mheshimiwa Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka 2022 ili awe president wetu. Za Ukambani hatutaki yoyote iende mahali popote. Tunajua kuna UDA, tunajua kuna vyama vile vingine, lakini tunataka kuwatangazia saa hii ya kwamba Ukambani, the unity is there. Na mkitaka kujua kwamba unity ya Ukambani iko, muangalie kura za Senator Kavindu.
A meeting scheduled for tomorrow involving members of parliament from NASA-affiliated parties was postponed to Tuesday, August 3rd. Despite the exit, Kalonzo indicated that he had received a letter from ODM leader Raila Odinga where the former premier accepted to share the political party's fund. The Wiper boss also welcomed former NASA CEO Norman Magaya, who defected to the party. However, behind-the-scene talks and legal roadblocks that are threatening to stall the much-hyped push by the National Super Alliance NASA trio to dissolve the moribund coalition, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties ORPP yesterday said Ford Kenya cannot pull out of the coalition until a leadership dispute in the party is determined by the High Court.
You've been seeing yours truly here, who fields candidates for Ford Kenya, who speaks for Ford Kenya, who is the leader of Ford Kenya, known, acknowledged, and everybody, including yourself, you know. If I ask you a question, who is the leader of Ford Kenya, will you think twice before you answer it?
Ford Kenya party leader Moses Wetangula is in a tussle over the control of the party, with an axis led by Kandui Member of Parliament Wafula Omunyinyi and Tongaren Member of Parliament Eseli Simiyu.
The former party leader of Ford Kenya, moving about, purporting to represent Ford Kenya, masquerading as the representative of Ford Kenya in coalition formations. We've heard him talk to One Kenya Alliance, we've heard him move around here. And the management meeting today resolved to ask him to desist from moving around calling himself leader of Ford Kenya.
You know, who speaks for Ford Kenya is the leader of Ford Kenya party. And the leader of Ford Kenya party is known. We don't have to, you know, we say in the book of Wallace Soyinka, The Lion and the Jewel, that a tiger does not profess its turpitude. It bounces.
The Bungoma senator has, however, dismissed the faction as rebels with no cause and insisted that the party will proceed with its planned parliamentary group meeting to ratify a resolution to pull out of the coalition. It has also emerged that powerful forces are trying to prevail upon the Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka to reconsider his position of severing links with ODM leader Raila Odinga. The implication of the latest development in the NASA fiasco is that even if Amani National Congress proceeded to pull out, the coalition will still remain, since at least 3 partner parties have to pull out for it to be dissolved. Yesterday, Registrar of Political Parties Anne Nderitu revealed that none of the partner parties had written to formally pull out of the coalition, contradicting ANC Deputy Party Leader Ayub Savula. Savula had claimed that Amani Council wrote to ORPP over its decision to divorce from the coalition following a parliamentary group meeting held last week on Thursday. Reporting for Maisha TV, I'm Bushebe Jr.
2022 presidential aspirant and former UNCTAD Secretary General Maisha Tv is now discrediting the bottom-up economic approach being pushed by Deputy President William Ruto. Tv cautioned Kenyans to be wary of the hustler narrative promoted by Ruto and his allies, terming it as a self-seeking venture.
You cannot have national solutions if you do not understand national problems. Why are these things not talked about in Kenya politics? Because many of the people want to offer you leadership have no capacity to deal with those issues. Therefore, they want to shift the conversation to areas where they are more comfortable. Masikia, kama ni magumu, you can give them blanket expressions. Naweza kuita bottom-up economics. Wanakuuliza unamaanisha nini? No, that's not telling us about the problems of Kenya. The problems of Kenya are why is Kenya not competitive? The problems of Kenya are how can we succeed without criminalizing corruption?
And West Pokot Governor John Nyang'apo has challenged the national government to pay school fees for learners as schools reopen for the first term in order to cushion parents from the hard economic times brought about by COVID-19 pandemic. He noted that many learners across the country risk missing school because their parents have been greatly affected by the pandemic.
Sababu COVID imeleta tabu, fees hakuna, chakula hakuna, mahitaji mingi hakuna. Ingewezekana national government kwa uwezo yake yote, japo kwa mereduce fees kidogo, ingewezekana this first year, mwaka hii tunaingia kwa sababu ya terrible mess ya COVID, wangetulipia wanafunzi pesa. Walimu wakuu wa secondary colleges wawe na extraordinary understanding wakati huu. Kawaida mwa mnafukuza watoto wakikuja bila fees. Hata wale tunasaidia hawa sisi kama county ya West Pokot kama basari, unakuta basari inaenda late sababu tunangoja exchequer itupee. Wafika shule wanafukuzwa. So ningeomba kuanzia wiki ya kesho ombi na kuomba ni bure. Muwe understanding wizara ya elimu, so musifukuse wanafunzi, ujeni na local formula, ikiwezekana na wazazi wa sign namna ya kusort out ili tusifukuzwe. Especially West Pokot ninaona mbaya sana, wana watoto wanatembea barabarani, walipelekwa shule na wanarudi na uniform. What are we doing?
Disability is not inability. These were the sentiments of Gladys Orlando, head teacher of Libolina Special School in Bungoma County, addressing challenges faced in the operation as special school teachers. Gladys advised the society to embrace and develop positive attitude by educating children with disability.
My name's Gladys Orlando. Currently the head teacher of St. Denis Libolina Special School. I had to learn to cope and also adapt to the working style, of which I have done, and the progress is enormous. Since my coming, I found the school academically. In 2018 they had a mean score of 235.4. In 2019, we managed to get a mean score of 218, 0.5. And then last year, that is the results that we just were released in March, we managed a mean score of 257.41. Last year, the first 3 students were those with physical challenges. The first one was a girl who scored 381, that is Shalin Machuma. She is joining Loreto High School Limuru, and that is a big boost, coming from a very vulnerable, disadvantaged family, and she's going that far. She is a motivation to the other learners, with my support trying to mentor the teachers. They were positive and ensured that the learners took up the initiative of participating. And in 2019, the learners participated in both activities up to national level and gotten position 1. And this was a plus, and we appreciate that. Drama, even in 2020, before we broke out for the corona, they had done the county, and they were now moving to the regionals, having also gotten position 1.
Still in education, as the schools resume learning for the first term, learners of Mianga Primary School in Bumula Sub-County in Bungoma County have nothing to smile about, occasioned by poor infrastructures and a few classes, hence risk contraction of COVID-19. Philip Simiu has the details.
As the school resumes its first-term operations countrywide after 1 week holiday, teachers and pupils at Mianga Primary School in Bungoma County, Bumula Sub-County, are in fear of poor infrastructure in the school.
My name is Patrick Philip Etienne. I'm the head teacher of Mianga Primary School. We've opened today, 26th of July, 2021. So far, we've got enough learners that have reported today, although we expect more to report by tomorrow. The class that has been at home for 2 months, grade 5, today they have reported about 60%, and we expect that they'll be able to report tomorrow, all of them.
According to Mr. Patrick Etiang, the school head teacher, the school has old structures like classes, which are inconducive for learning activities.
The teachers are well prepared. We had a staff meeting when we closed the term. We shared the subjects, the timetable is ready, and we are ready to go. The infrastructure of the school is not really up to date based on the enrollment of the learners, and some of our buildings are dilapidated, and we need to upgrade them, we need to repair them. We will not be able to work comfortably in an environment that is not conducive for the learners.
Mr. Etiang expressed fear of students contracting COVID-19 as there is no enough space to achieve 1 meter rule, as it was directed by the Ministry of Health to curb the COVID-19 spread.
Our enrollment is high, that's why we need more space. Our enrollment, for example, in grade 5, we've got 106 learners, and all of them are in one class. Class 6, there are 98. Those are also in one class.
The school head is calling on the education stakeholders and other well-wishers to offer hand of support for construction of modern classrooms.
We hope that we'll be able to get some assistance from stakeholders, maybe from the county government, from the CDF, from the national government, and any other volunteer who is willing to help us. So we believe that if we get this assistance, perhaps it will go a long way in improving the academic standards of the school. We also want to ask the community to be able to support us to make sure the learners are at school, to ensure that the girl child is protected. We want to reduce the cases of pregnancies. We were able to reduce from 8 in 2018 to 1 in 2021. That is a good effort. We want to appreciate the work of the provincial administration, the assistant chief, the chief, and other stakeholders.
Reporting for Maisha TV, I'm Philip Simiu.
Thank you so much for keeping me company throughout the bulletin. That's all you had for Maisha Prime. My name is Rida Chibet Kering. And remember, after this, I'll be coming back with Maisha Prime Talk. And today we focus on issues of single parenthood in Kenya. So make sure you tuned in. Good evening. You're watching Maisha Prime Talk. My name is Rida Chebet Kering. We talk about issues affecting you and the society as a whole. And you cannot believe this. Nearly half or 45% of all children in Kenya do not live with both biological parents. This is according to data from the latest Kenya Demographic and Health Survey, KDHS. And we're going to talk about the issues of a single parenthood because Kenya has been ranked among nations with the highest number of single mothers. With me in studio to help dissect these matters is the CEO of Clear Soul Africa Limited and Director of Depression Kenya and Director of Champions of Faith Kenya edition. He is an entrepreneur with vast interest in the media industry. Welcome. Karibu sana Bushebi Junior.
Thank you so much. That is a great accolade there. You know, CEO, director, entrepreneur, CEO. Yeah, but thanks so much for inviting me once again. This is a great topic. It's a great topic.
Yeah, we see from the data from the Kenya Demographic and Health Survey that nearly half of the children do not live with their parents. And this is a survey from 2017. You cannot imagine what has transpired along that margin.
And funny enough is that according to the survey, that is in 2017, the children likely to be living with both parents, the highest number, the rate of children who are likely to live with both parents is in Nairobi. I expected Nairobi to be leading in the number of single parents.
Yeah, sure.
But actually Nairobi leads in the number of both parents living with their children. And then come to Western Kenya.
It's among the leading.
Among the leading in children who are not living with both parents. So it's something that we need to look at. And
yeah, and according to this data, you see that in Eastern, children are least likely to live with both parents with 49.4%, followed by Western 49.5%. Actually, I did not expect this.
Yeah, but it happens, you know. It happens with poverty, you know, and all that stuff. You know where people have some form of riches, they value family. Family. Anybody who has ever become successful has valued family. Hata kama mambo iliharibika namna gani, wanajuaga the first treasure, the first kind of wealth that you get in life is children. Yeah, so you really value them. Angalia kama the late Chris Kirubi, though separated or divorced, but he really valued his close family. You know, everyone was talking about how me and dad used to call me every day. You know, we used to talk, we used to quarrel, and then we make up, break up, make up, you know, stuff like that. So the first treasure is family. It's not money, it's not any other thing, it's family. But sadly, the poverty plays a huge role in separation, and it's not because that lack of money causes this. I think my look at it is when you're poor, so you have nothing to do, you know, like you're at home and you know, you see your wife or washing clothes and doing all those things. So what else can poor people do?
Produce children. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the major thing they will be doing, and so eventually, if they can't produce children, they look for some other avenues of producing. But when you produce children, you have to keep in mind that you need to have the enabling economic power to be able to take care of them, especially today. Not unlike kitambo when kulikuwa na ng'ombe na mbuzi ya kuchunga na shamba. These days, shamba ni masomo, shamba ni kazi, shamba ni career, shamba ni, you know. So you have to find a way. If you produce children, then you have to know how you're going to take care of them, and that's where the problem comes in.
Yeah.
That now you're poor, you produce many of them, but again, because you're poor, you cannot raise them. Okay?
Sure.
So you end up having kids trying to survive on their own, once single parent trying to raise these kids. on their own. But then there's so many factors. I think if you look at that, it's interrelated with marriage and value systems.
Just before you go into that, maybe you can list some of the reasons for this single parenthood.
I think divorce plays a huge role. Divorce and separation. Yeah, because how else do children end up being with one parent? It's not that people are dying.
Actually, if you see this data, it says that 5.3% of single mothers is because of death of their father.
Yeah, that's 5%. But what about the rest? Almost 50% or something. The thing is, it goes back to value systems. What do you value? I mean, if you value family, then you should be able to take care of the family.
Yeah.
And that word take care is huge. It's broad. It's not just about money. It's about value systems. I mean, placing value systems in the children that you produce. Family is the basic unit of the society. So without family,
no society.
The society can't exist. Without family, there's no nation. Without family, there's no church. There's no something else. So I think the 99% contributor to single parenthood and marital issues and it's just the value systems. The value systems that we have embraced that do not allow us to look at the future, look at our families with the same regard that our forefathers maybe used to look at family. Our forefathers used to have 5 wives, and they would make sure all of them are doing well, stuff like that. They can manage 5 women, manage 5 homes. But these days, even one guy can't manage a relationship. So can imagine how tough this thing is. So it's all about the value systems that we have.
Yes.
Yeah, that's contributing a lot to this.
And do you think that maybe along the way we lost the values that our parents inherited from their parents? Because if you see in the past, during the times of our mothers and our grandmothers, marriage was a great thing, and before, someone could not have a baby before marriage, not as compared to now where even children, 15 years, 16 years, they have children. And that's one of the reasons why we have high number of single mothers out here.
We are living in the information age. So you don't expect the human beings living in this dispensation to fail to know quite a number of things. These are the days when you don't lie to a kid that nilinunua ndugu yako kwa duka. They know exactly what you did, how long it took, so you became pregnant and you gave birth. They know it because we are living in the information age. This is the time when information is so close at your fingertips. So how do you create value systems? How do you bring the culture of valuing some things in life when a child is being heavily influenced by culture from somewhere else? Yeah, it's tricky to raise children during this time. It is very, very tricky because children are ahead of many parents in terms of knowledge, but not wisdom. Because wisdom comes from experience. Parents have wisdom because they have been here for quite some time. There are things they know. There are principles and values they know that if you go to the right or to the left against that principle, you're going to fail. It doesn't matter you're a professor. It doesn't matter you're a fool. Okay? Regardless of where you have reached in education, you're a fool if you don't obey a certain natural principle. Okay? For example, if you want to jump from a rooftop down to the ground and you're so learned, and you insist on doing it, your parent will tell you, you will fall down. And that is the law of gravity. If you jump, you fall down. So if you want to think that your parent is stupid or old school, so I can't listen to them, jump. And then you fall down. And then the parents will be like, we try to talk to him or we try to talk to her. That is what happens with today's generation. We are in the information age. We know too much, yet empty of wisdom. We have no wisdom at all. We have no wisdom. Why? Because we don't have experience. We don't have the revelation of even the knowledge that we claim to have. Okay? So every day there's new knowledge, and it's affecting culture, it's affecting the value systems, but we don't have the wisdom. The wisdom is residing with the parents whom young people or this generation won't listen to. They think they are outdated, but there's one thing that I've always made clear. There's a difference between knowledge and principle. A principle can never change. A principle is a law, ni sheria. Na hizo principles ndio parents wetu wanajua. Okay? Sisi tunajua knowledge. 1 + 1 is equals to 2. Who told you? If today somebody came and told you, that's not a principle. That's not a principle, that's just knowledge. 1 + 1 is equals to 2.
Yeah.
We take lunch at about 1 p.m. That's not a principle, that's not a law. Okay? I can decide to take my lunch at 6 p.m. What are you going to do? Are you going to kill me because I took my lunch? I called my meal at 6 p.m. lunch. So are you going to kill me? You're not going to kill me. That's not a principle. It's just knowledge. But then there are principles. Okay? Like the principle of hard work. The principles of honor. Okay? You must honor that which is above you. It doesn't matter the circumstances. You must always honor that which is above you. That's a principle. Whatever you dishonor turns against you. It's a principle. You know, the world does not run with a policeman holding a stick and following everyone. You know, things should go. No, the world runs on principles. It's nature. Okay? So who tells the birds to go and make love and produce kids? Who? Who stands there and says, okay, birds of the air, now it's time, you can go. It's a principle, it's a law. I mean, they follow principles and law. And these are the things that most of us don't adhere to. We think we know too much. We think we know when we know nothing. We have no wisdom, we don't know principles, we just have knowledge. So when you have a generation that has a lot of knowledge with no wisdom and they don't know any principle about life, you end up with confused value systems. If you honor your body, I talked about the principle of honor. If you honor your body, there are things you will never do. Okay?
Yeah.
We were discussing about the gayism culture on the rise in the country, and we talked about the way Barack Obama, the former president of US, clashed with our president Uhuru Kenyatta on the issue, and Uhuru told him Kenyans are not ready for that nonsense. Okay? It's principle. So this is a president who comes from a foundation of principle. Listen, this is not creation principle, okay? This is not something. But even as the president says that, who is listening? We have a high number of guys going that direction.
Yeah, sure.
What is happening? That is the big question. Are we going to go into the root cause of all this? Are we going to go into the root cause? And the root cause, according to me, what I think, my opinion, is that there's a mess in the value system. The value system. And sadly, media has played a huge role. Media has played a huge role in destroying the value systems of this nation. Why do I say that? Because they put up stories and they do this so well, so creatively, with a lot of art, precisely just to corrupt minds. To corrupt minds. We have a culture where, like in the US, celebrities get married at 9 in the morning and divorce at 9:30 the same morning. And they actually come out and give a speech and write a
They're
press.
divorced.
Yeah, we are divorcing, so our fans, please understand us and give us some privacy. The media also give us some. So they actually have airtime to come and talk about how they got married at 9 a.m. and divorced at 9:30. Okay? And these are celebrities who have a following, a fanatical following. People who can actually worship them. Okay? And they are doing that. What are you trying to teach the young generation? Like I said, they are full of knowledge, they know that, they see that, they can access that kind of content. Yes, but do they have wisdom to make a decision and know that this is wrong? I don't want this kind of thing in my life. I want a woman or a man in my life whom we can stick together, work together, raise a family, put correct values in the children so that they can also go and create another generation of the same. Okay, that is how the world was created to be.
Okay, well, before we continue so much into that, I would like us to break this down. Let's talk about marriage and the reasons for more separation and divorce in marriages.
I'll still go back to my point of value systems. Why do you get yourself into marriage? Okay, why? Why do you get yourself into marriage? Why do you want that man in your life? Why do you want that woman in your life? You have to know that marriage, a human being is a package of problems. Okay? A human being is a package of problems that you're supposed to solve. That is why we have business booming all over, because human beings have needs and they are full of problems, and so everyone is trying to coin a solution and sell it. So when you marry someone or when you get married to somebody, you're just another package of problems coming. So you choose your baggage. Okay? You choose your baggage. So if you're getting into marriage thinking that things are going to be fine, you know, we're not going to quarrel, you know, you have this, especially ladies, they have these fantasy kind of imagination.
Effects of soap operas.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're talking about media influence. You have this fanatic, and by the way, soap operas are very funny because those are, if you look at the storylines, okay, if you look at the storylines, you will get to understand that within time, that's how the value systems are being destroyed. You find this is in a soap opera, and this is the storyline. Something goes like this. This is a son marrying this lady. This lady comes to live with this man in their parents' home, where the parents of the husband. Okay. Then one day the father falls in love with the lady, and then struggles with the intention of maybe doing things with the lady. Struggles for some time. So that struggle keeps you glued on the screen for some time. You know, is it going to happen or will it happen? Then within a short time, the lady is pregnant. Okay? And so the husband is there, you know, taking care of the lady. And then after some time, you discover that the baby is not the husband's baby, but the father's baby. And then the story becomes so interesting. There's another twist. The cousin is also involved in something, you know. So you find a storyline full of homosexuality, full of fornication, full of adultery, and polyandry, and all these kinds of things that just mess up societies. And that is what everyone is so excited. I mean, you can't miss it. You can't change the channel when that thing is shown. Okay? The reason why you're so glued to this thing is because they are brainwashing you. You might think that it's just, oh, so it's just a storyline, you know, this is some nice movie, you enjoy the story, what's going to happen? I can't believe this happened. You keep enjoying this. But let me tell you, eventually they're brainwashing you. You won't find a problem, a lady won't find a problem sleeping with their dad. Okay? You've heard these things. I was listening to Maina the other day. And Churchill, when they were doing that, and ladies would call in and confess that they're actually having a relationship with their dads, that they envy their mothers. Okay, this is crazy. We are burying our heads in the sand, but crazy things are happening. Tell me, if that is a lady having a relationship with a dad, what would happen if by chance you marry that lady? And what is the relationship between that chick and the mother?
Coins.
That is the problem. And then somebody comes and makes a story about this and shoots a movie about the same, you know, and tells the story. And you're glued on the screen like, hey, this is crazy. If they can show it on TV, then you can watch it on YouTube or any channel, you know, you just enjoy it. You just, after 10 years, You have a generation of confused people. Confused people.
But I think as someone is not doing their job well, like let's say the church, do you think the church has a role in this?
It's not about blaming. Every sector of the society must come in forcefully. Every sector, every, not just the church. I can rant about the church because I know how powerful religion is. I know how powerful. They say religion is the opium of the masses. Okay, I can intoxicate you with religion until you do whatever I want you to do. Okay, I can talk about church a little bit because it is mother and father to so many people. But when you look at the church today, we are looking at a time when God is no longer building things or building ministries based on character. Okay? It is all about gifts and prophecies and go deeper and finish me, man of God. Go deeper, man of God. Can I prophesy? This guy prophesies until prophesies the kind of underwear that you're wearing. What kind of prophecy is that? Okay? They prophesy, I'm on this street going that direction, you know, and you clap. And you're like, go deeper. Go deeper where? We should be going deeper into understanding the character, the value systems of the society. We are dying. We are losing generations. And here we are talking about going deeper. I mean, finish me. Finish you where? What? Okay? We have a generation of preachers who have no respect for the value systems that even the founders of Christianity put there when they started Christianity. The reason why I believe God is because of his integrity. He is no different from what he says and what he does. Okay? That is why I trust him. The day God will lie, I will never trust God in my life again. Okay? The day Paul, Peter, and all those great guys in the Bible would tell lies, their character compromised, we wouldn't trust them again. Okay? So God usually builds ministries and societies based on character. Even a business is built based on its integrity, its character. But now we have a bunch of guys building churches based on lies, gifts. Okay? Going deeper and finishing me. You know, people just shouting and clapping over nothing. When the character is dead. Because you want offering or you want tithes. Okay? But the tithe you're getting that tithe from a prostitute who is a homosexual. Okay? Went and slept with another man. So James went and slept with John. John paid James. James came and paid tithe. And because your church is not addressing character, it has no integrity, all you care about is the tithe. It's about just the offering. That's it. And then you go deeper and you finish them with your nonsense, you know, whatever you're preaching. Okay? This shouting, preaching stuff, and I'm saying this because you asked me specifically about the church.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about the church. This whole thing is not helping. It's not helping in marriage. It is not helping in family. It is not helping in character. It is not helping the young people. It's not helping any generation. It's not at all glorifying even the God they claim that they are serving. It's not. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
Well, thank you so much, Bushebi Jr. He's a man not just perfect in politics, but also in matters marriage. I can see that.
Yeah,
and we're going
because marriage is nobody can escape marriage.
Well, thank you so much. And we're going for a short commercial break, and we'll be coming back with more on this. So stay tuned.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Your world of Maisha is getting an exciting makeover. we're giving your channel a dedicated touch to enhance your viewing experience. Finding what you want, loving it has never been this easy.
Build your capacity. The problem is leadership.
My name is Rida Chebet Kering.
Welcome home to your dedicated channel, where you choose it, watch it, and love it. It's your season.
Oh, there you are. Come on, come closer. Let's start this journey together. Get to know one another so we can rise together. Pick me up, hold me, feed me, but it might be messy. Change me, but it might be smelly. Be my playdate. Be my rocking chair. Be my hero.
Because every dad should play an equal role in his baby's life, Pampers is giving 8 weeks of paternity leave to their new dads, hoping to inspire others to give Kenyan dads this opportunity.
Hello 22bet.
Oya, ni aje?
Poa sana.
Unasikia naenda kuingia kwa akaunti yangu napata kuna maziwa rada.
Oh, hiyo ni Euro 2020 cashback. Tunapeana 8% kwa kila game ya Euro.
Hadi kwa kila game?
Hata zenye zimekunywa maji.
Sasa nyinyi ndio mabazeng. Itabidi hadi nimechapia mbogi. Cheki Mamorio. Unasikia kuna 8% cashback ya nini ya Euro ya 22bet.
Get 100% bonus on your first deposit now. SMS join to 29252. 22bet. Tucheze, tushinde.
Oya, ni aje? Mimi ndo Jonte Fresh. Mimi ndio nimetambulika hii Gikomba yote sekta ya manguo. Jumi transform nguo ordinary za mtush zenye ziuka mna hii harufu ya bail into the freshest igi kosi yote. Siri ni hii Ariel mpya ya pink. Na kushow mtush zinang'ara kung'ara kushinda kamera. So clean, so fresh. Ma customer unaisana na hii story. Ninatumia Ariel touch of down mpya tu.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Your world of Maisha is getting an exciting makeover. We're giving your channel a dedicated touch to enhance your viewing experience. Finding what you want, loving it has never been this easy.
Build your capacity. The problem is leadership.
My name is Rida Chebet Kering.
Welcome home to your dedicated channel, where you choose it, watch it, and love it. It's your season.
Okay, welcome back. Remember, this is Maisha Prime Talk, and I'm Rida Chebet, and with me is
Shelby Jr.
And now there's this interesting thing that I found here. By the way, what's wrong with Western Kenya? Here's a data that says that there's another revelation that children living with other relatives or in other households, even when both parents are alive, and Western Kenya is the highest with 16.5%. What can you say on this?
You know, you need to understand the culture of Western Kenya. Western Kenya is one region in Kenya that has not fully explored its resources.
Because,
so,
just a moment, when you see this, in all other provinces, that is the whole of Kenya, except Western Kenya, the figure is less than 10%. But in Western, only 16.5%. These numbers are alarming.
You need to understand the culture of Western Kenya before you come to conclusion. Western Kenya is like I said, is a region that considers itself poor. Okay, it's a rich person standing on top of a mountain and shouting every day that I'm poor. There's a saying that I used to hear some time back. After harvesting maize in Western Kenya, the greeting on the street. Somebody has harvested over 100 sacks of maize, excuse me, and if you find that person on the street and say, hey, how are you doing? He'll tell you, it's all about hunger. So in Luya they used to say, Angela Yongene.
Hata kama kuna chakula.
Hata kama kuna chakula kiwango gani, ako na maziwa, ako na nini, salamu ilikuwa njaa. Okay? Western region is that region where they believe in Mutwetu. If you ever make it in Western region, you've made it for the whole community. You're not inspiring anybody. There's no one who says, I want to be like him or her. All they care about is, okay? Okay? So you need to understand the culture. Where did all these start from? I don't know. I don't know how it started. But Western is like I said, is like a man, a rich man, who always leaves his home to stand up on top of a mountain and say, I'm poor. Okay? Western Kenya, if you make it, you've made it for the whole community. So if you have a house, it's a house for everyone. Okay? That is why
that is so funny.
You will never. It is not easy to find a Western Kenya house or home with just father, mother, and children. Okay, you will find a bunch of guys in that home. Huyu ni wa shangazi, huyu sijui ni wa nani, huyu ni wa nani, huyu ni wa nani, and they all gather in that, because that home does not belong to these two guys. They built that home for all of us, and actually many feel it's their right. That is a culture. So in Western Kenya, it's not about inspiring somebody. That if you make it, you are inspiring someone to make it. No. If you make it, every other person relaxes. They know all their problems have come to an end. Okay? You're going to solve them. They don't care how. And that is the culture of Western Kenya. So sometimes it becomes a burden, and it brings problems. Because sometimes you are married and you have these guys from your wife's side, then your wife has these guys from your side, and they all live together with you, and there's a huge burden, you know, and then there's the marital issue, you know, like you're taking too much money, you're spending a lot of money here, you know. So all these things, they contribute to separation, divorce, and those conflicts, and then you find that, you know, eventually children wanatumwa enda ishi kwa shangazi mahali fulani, waenda ishi mahali fulani. So you find this confusion all over. And then this idea of marrying many women, you know, also it's hard to find. If I have 6 wives, surely, how do you expect my children to live with me in all those 6 wives? Well, how will I be, you know, moving around? They'll just be seeing me, maybe a day or two, I'm gone. So they won't be seeing me all the time. So it's really hard. And that's why you find that that's close to single motherhood. Okay.
With the way many celebrities have embraced that, they call it co-parenting, where the father and the mother separated, but now they decide to bring the child together, the children together. So the only thing they can do is just visiting.
Yeah, which is somehow it's a short-term solution to the permanent problem that we have created. It goes back to the value systems. Why would I really want you in my life? Why would you want me in your life? That is the most important thing. You know, if you go into marriage with the idea of you know, mimi mtu akinifanyia tu hivi siwezi, mimi nimeomoka. Unajua? When you go with that mentality, trust you me, marriage is another crazy world. Marriage is not a baby's playground. It's not. It's like if you send there somebody who's immature, it's like you're sending a baby with pampers to war field, you know. The pampers will just fall down and they'll become ashamed. Marriage is crazy. Marriage is sacrifice. Marriage is a decision. It has nothing to do with love and stuff. You know, love huwa inaisha. The other time I was telling you, mnaweza ishi kwa nyumba kama ndugu na dada. Unapitananga tu, mambo vipi? Umeshikaje? Fresh. Before you know it, it's 1 year just living like brother and sister. Marriage is a sacrifice. There's the issue of finances. There's the issue of children. There's the issue of outsiders, third parties. Don't think that you're the only person who wants or who is with that person in your life. Okay? Even as you're married, bibi yako bado anakatiwa. Hata kama amekuoa bado anafuatwa na mademu wengine. How do you handle that? Unajua akitoka kwa nyumba asubuhi akirudi jioni watu ngapi wamenyemelea? So there's a lot of things. Don't think marriage doesn't solve the kukatiana issue, the dating stuff. Okay? Kuna kule kazini penye wanafanya kazi. You can imagine these are two people married. Okay? Wanaamka asubuhi, mzee anaenda kazini somewhere else. Every day and I spend 8 hours with other women elsewhere. Same with the wife, spending close to 10 hours with other men elsewhere. What makes you think that they won't develop some form of attraction or connection or a tie of some sort? So how do you protect your marriage so that it doesn't go to the extreme? It doesn't shift from colleague, iende friend zone, and then iende sasa kwingine kule. How do you protect your marriage? Because a little mistake, anaenda kulilia kwa shoulder ya jamaa fulani uko wana spend na yeye kazini.
Ipo naendea tu past papers kwa wazazi.
Exactly. That's why I told you parents have the wisdom. They have been in marriage for 50 years. Go sit, let them tell you how things are done. The problem is we think we know. Unasema nyinyi wazee wa kitambo hamuelewi dunia.
Time nyingine.
Marriage operates on principles, not knowledge. Hakuna kitu mpya enye you go through in marriage enye your parents have not gone through. So for us to be able to understand why we are having divorce and separation as the biggest reason as to why we have single parenthood, then we need to look at marriage and the value systems that we have in marriage. When we have confused value systems where people think homosexuality and lesbianism is the way to go, that you can marry your fellow woman, you can marry your fellow man, then know for sure we've lost. Okay? When we have confused systems where the church or religious organizations are supposed to be building on character, forming and reforming the character of a child from the time a child, what will gonna find dedication? Unakuwa dedicated in the church, in an altar. Then there's even a godfather, somebody who will make sure your spiritual life, your character is okay. So apart from your parents, you have somebody in church because you belong to that altar. And the church was so responsible to make sure that grow until the church clubs na wanafurahia when finally you get married, because they are 100% sure hawakubahatisha. Unaona? But squeezy hata hiyo church kenyewe kuenda ni ngumu. Hiyo kanisa kuenda ni ngumu. Do you know why? Because from birth hakuna character inajengwa. You get saved this morning, you go to the church in the afternoon, all they are telling you is go deeper. Yeah? There's no discipleship. Discipleship is actually something that happens at home, It happens in the churches. It happens in all religious setups. It happens in workplaces. To disciple somebody simply means to make them be disciplined to the principles and values of a certain place. Okay? So we are not doing that. We have allowed media to do that on our behalf. And media has crazy people. Content creators who know nothing about life. These are the people who come on your screen and tell you stuff. Okay? You go to Facebook Live, YouTube, wherever. People who are creating content. There are people who failed in so many things. They know nothing about life. But young people, I mean, somebody who is 18, 19, 20, you find somebody of 35, 40, 50 watching and getting values from an 18-year-old, you know, enjoying themselves and feeling like this is the way life should be. How do you explain that?
And talking about media eroding that virtue and whatever, there's this boss of Kenya Film Classification Board, Ezekiel Mutua.
Yes.
Most of the time I see that he talks some truth concerning the moral, and last week he said that if the government and the church is not keen, then maybe in the near future we'll have a very
confused generation.
Confused generation, thank you. And most people come out and criticize him most of the times when he say this. They say, oh, huyu mzee mwambie nyamaze, huyu mzee nyamaza, enda uko ini wakati mwingine.
The thing is, it's just that people are getting agitated when Ezekiel talks because Dr. Mutua is a moral cop. Dr. Mutua is trying to go back to what I was talking about, character. You know, a nation is built on character. Okay?
Yeah.
A nation is built on character. That time we were talking about depression, and I asked you a question. What would happen if we have a bunch of depressed guys for the next 20, 30 years? And those are the guys who are going to be leaders. Now, what would happen if we have a bunch of guys who have no character, who have no values, whose values can be swayed and changed anytime with anything? Even just a news item can change their values. Okay? Somebody just shows up and says, hey guys, this is the way to go. And you change your values. You compromise everything and run after that thing only to realize it's vanity. Do you have a society that has a moral foundation that can say, no, this is not us? Okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if the whole world is going to follow that direction. No, this is not us.
Yeah.
This is not us. My dad was a disciplinarian. Okay? You wouldn't just alikuwa jeshi.
Akiamua kuvunja na
kuvunja. You don't bring your values here. He used to tell us, if you're my son and you live under my roof, then you have to follow the value systems that I dictate in this house.
Well, I think Ezekiel is doing this for the good of the society.
Yes, I do believe so. Ezekiel Mutua has been doing a great job. It's just that there's a thin line between good morals and the Bible. And so sometimes people don't differentiate between Ezekiel's push for good morals and a preacher preaching in the church. But Dr. Ezekiel is actually trying to put up some checks and balances so that we don't end up with a morally decayed generation of society. Because listen, Dr. Ezekiel Mutua is going to retire. He's worried about the next person who is going to take his place.
Yeah.
If he does not do his job well, the next person who is going to take his place exactly. That is why he's scared. And everyone who is sane enough, everybody who has built something in this country would be worried about the next generation that is coming to take over from them. They would be worried because if you don't raise up another generation, and I remember my statement, and I think the viewers should remember what I said. Everything is built on character. It has nothing to do with your talent or your gift or your education or wherever. In fact, there is a saying that says, your talent will take you before kings, But what will keep you there? Your character. So God, business, government, societies, families, marriages are built on character. As long as the value systems are okay, things are gonna be fine. No matter what you go through in life, you will always come through successfully. And so I do believe Ezekiel Mutua is doing a great job. He's doing a great job. I congratulate him. If he is watching this or watches this, I congratulate you, sir. You're doing a good job. Now, people should sit down and ask themselves the right question. What is the limit of whatever we are doing? I saw creatives fighting with him. But the big question is, what is the limit? How far is far? Okay? How far is far? A woman walking naked, is that the limit or is that too far? You know, you abusing people and calling people names, like I said, honor is a principle. Honor is a principle. Anybody who's ever made it, okay? Yeah. Anybody who is doing better than you, anybody who is older than you, you should honor those people. It doesn't matter, just honor them. But then when there is no honor, either to your parents, there's no honor, either to the leadership, for example, the president. You've seen people abusing the president. There's no honor. We see people talking about, you know, this useless man, you know, something like that. That means there's no honor. How far is that? Okay. Who sets the limits?
Well, and as we wind up, what do you think is the solution to all this?
I think already we have structures in place that can do the job. First of all, like I said, it's the responsibility of everybody, including us. Media, especially media, to put up stories and content that can build the society, build the character of the society, instill the values. Number two, there's also the part that the government plays, like what you say, Dr. Ezekiel Mutua. They come up with policies on ratings and stuff like that. So if you produce something that perhaps maybe is going to, or if you do something in a society that's going to mess up the value systems and corrupt the young people, they'll come up. They'll come for you. They can even jail you. So that's a policy that is good. And then we come to religious organizations. They should do the same, particularly the churches. They should stop preaching a lot of gibberish and begin to build on character. You know, take up the young people, raise them up. Don't wait until somebody is 15, 18, 20. That's when you say that now you're trying to raise them. What are you raising? This is the guy who's already been raised. Okay? Go for the Sunday school. Start in the Sunday school. Start with the child who's just 3 months old. Dedicate them. Teach them. Train them. Follow up on them. After 30 years, the whole organization, the whole church will clap their hands and they will be sure of the person that is standing before them because they raised that person. Okay? So stop this nonsense of going deeper and clapping for nothing. Yeah. People are confused. Young people are confused and you're there prophesying over them. How do you prophesy over a confused person? This person needs to change his character or her character. You need to stop doing some things. It's a matter of you changing your ways. It's not a matter of people prophesying over your life. You'll have a car. Where? They're going to steal. Yeah? And then, if it happens that you have that car, nobody knows how you got it. And people celebrate. Hey, that day you prophesied that I will buy a car, now I have bought it. You don't even know how the person got that car. You don't even know. Maybe a liba. So prophecy may come true. This idea of prophesying should come to an end. People should go back to character building. Okay? Discipleship. That will change our societies. Churches are so close to the hearts of Kenyans. So if we can use churches we can change so many lives. Preaching the right thing.
Well, thank you so much. As you've heard my co-hostess say that each and every one of us has a role to play in ensuring that the moral of the society is not eroded. Now that's all you had for Maisha Prime Talk. See you next time.
Oh, there you are. Come on, come closer. Let's start this journey together. Get to know one another so we can rise together. Pick me up, hold me, feed me, but it might be messy. Change me, but it might be smelly. Be my playdate.